Hello dear viewers, myself Nasir and you're watching Mr.Zoologist YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about different terminologies that are used in fish culture extensively. These topics are the part of MSc Zoology as well as BS Zoology. So we are going to start it from the first one, that is aquaculture. Aqua means water. So if you are rearing animals or plants in water, that will be called as aqua farming. That will be under your supervision. That means to say the aqua farming is controlled growth of aquatic species that can be either animal or plant. And as we are talking about now fish culture, that will be particularly you are trying to cultivate fish species. Next is Sciculture. Sciculture is in actual aquaculture practice in which you are involving only finned fish. Those fishes which have fins, you are going to grow them or cultivate them. Next is extensive aquaculture, means to say that is managed aquaculture dependent on the local natural setting such as pond or coastal sea area. In actual, you can say that there are 3 to 4 types of the production systems of fish culture on the amount of or basis of the density based. That can be either extensive, semi intensive and intensive farming. In extensive aquaculture, you rear a small number of fishes in a large pond or in a large area so that they can easily grow out on the natural food resources without providing artificial feed. That was extensive aquaculture. Now we are going to discuss about intensive aquaculture. That is also managed aquaculture, controlled growth. Human engineered means to say you are providing artificial feed to the fishes because your density is abundant in the pond or in a circular tank in which you are rearing your fishes or cultivating your fish species. You have to provide them feed because natural feed cannot fulfill their energy requirements. That is intensive aquaculture. Least managed is extensive aquaculture, and you have to manage intensive aquaculture because the density is too much high and natural feed cannot supply the demands of the fishes. And next is fish farm. What is fish farm? In actual, a fish farm is a place or location used to grow populations of aquatic organisms, and that from that of these primarily is fish. And next is fish hatchery, one form of a fish farm managed with the intent of resupplying, means to say you have to resupply native wild populations in natural environments. The next is ornamental fish. These are small fish such as koi, which are typically grown to be kept in aquariums or small landscape ponds. Means to say, these are just for the display purpose. You are growing them in either aquarium in front of your shop or your home for the decoration purpose. And next is game fish. Fish such as trout, ways to become replenishment stock for natural sport fisheries. In actual, trout is cultivated in colder areas or might be in marine water where there is enough plenty of water with saline conditions. Trout is also a bit more tastier than Labirohita and Catla from all these above. That is a game fish also. And next is we are going to discuss about is wild fish harvesting, means to say the wild fish that is uncultivated, undomesticated, that will come into the terminologies of wild. The commercial and personal fishing consumption in a specific area and over a specific time frame is under the wild fishing harvest. Harvest you will cultivate at the end of your cultivation season. And next are fish farming terminologies. These include water quality, the characteristics of water, such as water temperature and contamination, like those of heavy metals or either algae or bacteria, etc., which define its stability to sustain life and its purity from chemicals. Next is culture tanks. Artificial holding areas used to rear fish farm stocks. These are culture tanks or culturable tanks in which you can culture fishes. Next is fish husbandry. The breeding and rearing of fish for a variety of reasons. Means to say, if you are growing your fish to provide seed as well as to provide as a meat, or as well as to provide medicines prepared from these fishes. That means to say you are in the part or in the business of fish husbandry. Next is anadromous fish, means to say that is a migratory fish that travels from either from freshwater to aquatic or aquatic to freshwater. Means to say the freshwater to marine water or marine water to freshwater. That will be the anadromous fish. And next is catadromous fish that live in freshwater but breed in salt water. That is opposite to anadromous. Anadromous will always move from salt water to freshwater, whereas catadromous move from freshwater to salt water just for the purpose of breeding or happofization or fertilization. Next is amphidromous fish that migratory fish live in both fresh and salt water, independent of breeding. That means that doesn't need to shift from one area to another. That just locally moves from salt water to freshwater and freshwater to salt water. And next is apodromous fish, migratory fish that move within freshwater only, and does not goes into the marine water. And next is oceanodromous fish that lives only in the salt water and doesn't move to the fresh water. Next is genotyping, determining the genetic makeup of a fish or stock or the purpose of managing the efficiency of aquaculture production. And next is in vitro fertilization, artificially fertilizing fish eggs in a laboratory setting. Means to say you will collect the milt from the male and oocyte from the female, and you will mix them in the baths, water baths, just for the sake of fertilization. Next is fish meal, commercially prepared, available, is also available in the form of pieces, or you can also purchase whole fish from the market. What is fry? Fry in actual is a developmental stage of fish immediately after the larva stage. At an age of less than a week, means to say that less than a week fish or 1 to 2 inch fish is a fry fish. Next is the fingerling. It is a developmental stage of fish following the fry stage. After the fry stage, there comes the fingerling stage. 3 to 4 first 3 to 4 months of life of fish is called a fingerling fish. That can either be a 3 to 4 inch or 5 inch fish. Next, yearling, development stage of fish. As you can it's suggested from its parent name, yearling means to say a year fish or more than a 12 months fish is called yearling. And next is broodstock, fish of for any particular species which are raised for reproduction purposes. Means to say if you are want to collect oocyte and milk from your fish for the purpose of fertilization, and that fish is mature enough to provide, or their gonads are mature, these will be called as broodstock fish. Next is fish kill. A description of the number of fish stock to die in a specific amount of time will be called as fish kill. Means to say if you are killing or you're capturing by their death, that will be fish kill. And next is pond acreage. Means to say area committed to extensive aquaculture. Holdings at a fish farm or company is called pond acreage. And next one is overfishing, means to say detrimental practice of removing more of a natural aquatic species than what natural reproduction can support. Means to say if you are capturing 2 fishes and your pond can provide alternatively 2 fishes, that means to say that capturing is self-sustainable. That is normal cultivation of the fish. And if harvesting, or if you are collecting 2 fishes and your pond cannot provide even one more fish to the growing culture, that means to say you are overfishing. And the last terminology is contaminants. Both natural and artificial materials not typically found or found in a usually high concentration, which can be detrimental to the health of wild or farmed aquatic species. These contaminants or chemicals, hazardous chemicals, can endanger or threaten the life of your farmed animal. That can be either if you are cultivating fish, or you are either rearing some other animals in the form of broodstock, and that will consume that polluted water. That will be the terminologies you will have to remember, and that will work upon your whole courses. That was the topic for today. I hope so you have enjoyed video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.